some worlds ain't supposed to mix. That's what I'm thinking. What you think?
Welcome back.
You got oil and water. You know what I'm
Welcome
saying?
back. Welcome back.
I mean,
One man said, "Pot rules the world."
exactly. So
Listen.
I just look at it like this, right? We black, right? We African American, right? You know what I'm saying? Black American, whatever you want to call us, right? Shit, some people.
I guess we'll be
some
considered
people call us
gang
Hebrew,
too. How we dress,
right?
it,
But
you know.
my point is that we're gonna be interested in hearing. Me, I'm interested in hearing all sides and spectrums of our people. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So that, especially we have to, I think, have a better understanding so that we could connect. You know what I'm talking about? So like it's not about saying somebody's bad because they're in the game. It's not about that. It's about understanding why they're in the game. You follow what I'm talking about? And how did that happen? How did the game come about?
I'll even go as far as to say, okay,
Because that's the same thing we do with religion.
not yet, but I won't go as far as
Okay.
to say, okay, you're a gangbanger, you got crews, posses, a group of men or women that is of a particular lifestyle, and y'all choose to inflict violence.
But you can't. I mean,
Allow me to finish.
you can't say that because then some people
Allow me
will
to
say.
finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Y'all choose to inflict violence.
Can't say that. You
Damn,
can't. Yeah,
bro.
because
I
they
mean,
don't
why
all
can
act-
why
every-
can I
every gang
finish
member's not violent.
Yeah, but allow me
Yeah.
to finish the thought process,
Okay.
because it's just like the military.
Okay.
In the
But they do
military,
get beat in. It get you. Okay.
in the military, you have certain facets of the military, and within the military, you have the infantry that go out there. They're the ones that's doing the combat. Then you have the ones that's doing the technical. Then you have the ones that's doing the medics. Then you have the ones that's behind the table, that's computers. You know what I mean? Then you have then you have within the ones that deal with the ocean, the seamen, the Navy.
Okay.
Then you have the
That's a
Air
fact.
Force. You know what
That's
I
a
mean?
fact.
So my point is,
That's a good one. Good bill.
within
Good bill.
within this thing that we call gang warfare, like I'll go to Chicago with it, because you got the conservative vice lords, you got the GDs, you
Right.
got the Moes, yeah, and these different fashions, they move a certain way, kind of like warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like these different outfits that they had, they just kind of move a certain way. And I'm like, if that's the case, that's cool. But what I would say is, identify yourself as a person that is dedicating your life to a battalion or a group, a militia or a group, and let that be that. But do it for the embedment of our people, like how growth and development was, of how Crips was supposed to be, or the different things. Yeah, the doctrine that
Well,
go by.
how about this? How about we say that's what we would do?
Who's we?
You and I. Like if that was our, because however they doing is
That's
how
what
they
they
doing
say.
it. Right. Well,
That's what they say. They got a doctrine.
right.
They got a doctrine.
Right.
Within their doctrine, it's supposed to, be for like for each one. They go for. I mean, I don't know their doctrine before. The stuff that I do here is like it's supposed to be positive. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be looking out for each other. If you look at the documentaries about the Crips was really supposed to be looking out for one another, taking care of the neighborhood and so forth and so on.
Right.
You go to Chicago, the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be, you go to prison, it was the same thing. It was supposed to be about, making sure protection, taking care of each other, things of that nature.
Right.
But my thing is this: if that's the case, like these different individuals that's older now, these OGs now, right? That's bringing these young guys into it, right? Don't bring them into it, like I always say, don't bring them into it with this mindset that is like perverted. This mindset, like you gotta you're you know what I'm saying. I'm Pyru, I'm a street nigga, this, that, and the third. That's not right there. You're just saying, okay, you've put yourself in a box, and this is how I roll. And whoever want to roll with me, these are the steps that you got to take in order to be a part of my world, or how I do things, and follow my footsteps type thing. And I just think that's whack. You know what I'm saying? Because in it being whack, it becomes a situation where You have these kids that's watching you all over the world with these different apps like Clubhouse, like Instagram, like Facebook, like all these different mediums. You're being seen by tens of thousands of people. You're being heard by tens of thousands of people, and this is the philosophy that they're growing up in. Because some guys don't got nobody, so all they got is what they're hearing and they're putting it together, and that is just unfortunate.
Right, right. No, I agree. I agree. I just want to say this. I remember sitting down with and just for you and I, right? You know what I'm talking about? We live, we speaking our piece and stuff like that. But for you and I don't know if you remember, we sat down with somebody from the Bronx. He was the head of the Boys and Girls Club. I'm not gonna say his name. We talked about what we wanted to do with battle rap, right? And hip hop, period. How we wanted to utilize hip hop. Okay. And I don't know if you remember what he told us to do. He told us to stay away from something. He said, stay away from certain things. He said, stay away from that. You don't remember? We sat in his office in Atlanta. He's the one that set it up for us to do the MC War Youth League in Vegas, where we had the kids from the Boys and Girls Club. Yeah. You don't remember? I'm not saying what he said to stay away from, but you remember he told us to stay away from certain things?
Yeah.
He was like,
I forgot.
And we was like, because I started talking about everything that I knew about the police officer that tried to stop the gang situation in the Bronx, and then he wound up getting shot in the face. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a what's that called? There's a what's that word for it? There is an agenda. You know what I'm talking about? And then being that we students, like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm talking about? Like, we gotta see how it was being approached before us, and that was never talked about, and it was around. Right. So I don't want to talk about it. That's how I think we should kind of have that same type of mindset, and just say that if we were in a position to, fortunately we didn't come up where we had to initiate into a gang, but if we did, it'd be good to be able to push these principles that you're talking about, right? Which are the principles of what was set up, right? What they were supposed to have been set up based on what we hear. We don't know. All we know is what we told, right? Because we're not in it, so we watch the videos, we hear the what's that called, the lingo. We hear what people say is the doctrine of it. I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, I was just saying that, with the whole situation we're seeing with Sonetta and Whack 100, we was watching just now, and to me it's like oil and water. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why mix it? Why, and I guess everybody is looking for viewership and stuff like that.
Looking for content, like, you know what I mean? And you being called out, you're supposed to be of a conscious community.
But see, you got to be careful, because see, is the premise set, meaning it is a good platform to be able to debate. Shouts out to Debatable, so you never know what might come onto this platform.
Debatable.
As we grow, right? But it would be good. But now the thing is, are the boundaries, because look, you know what I'm saying? Like, are the boundaries set? Because right now, has there been any fights after a Sonetta debate?
Not that I know of.
Right? Me either. Maybe there has been. Y'all let us know if y'all heard of. There hasn't been. Nobody's been killed based on what they believe, but they've been able to, a lot of rough stuff been said. You know what I'm saying? Like when Polite went against the dude that was saying all of that stuff about Dr. York. Right. And you know what I'm saying? And Polite was trying to defend what was in that book. You follow what I'm talking about, the Sodom and Gomorrah book, you know what I'm talking about? And all sorts of, what's it called? What is the word for it when it's to try to bring something out of you? When they, sensational, I guess, right? These sensational photos were shown during the stream, or during the debate. And, it didn't lead to no fight. Nobody fought, you know what I'm saying? And it can get intense. So, is the platform there? But see, the thing about it is, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, when we do think about gangs, we do think about what? What's the first thing that you said? We think violence, right? Right. So, can they be on that platform and discuss and have a discussion? I don't think they can. because it might not be the guy he's debating, but this other guy might
Right.
find offense. You know what I'm talking about? That he carries that flag, and now,
Right.
what do you think?
I just think that
Can it be done? On my question.
it has to be done because the moment, like this is the thing, it has to be done because the moment you whether you're of a aggressive group that promotes a stereotype, I think the moment you
Knowingly or unknowingly.
knowingly or unknowingly, but
Right.
the moment you get into a realm of dealing with intellectuals, you have to be faced with another intellectual to converse and ask your position, and you have to be able to explain your position on what you are, whether you're Crip, Blood, GD, Vice Lord, gay, or Hebrew
That's not
Israelite.
gay.
I mean, no, I'm saying it's like it's whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Whatever
I got you.
whatever it is.
Because you could be gay. That's not part of it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you could be gay and you could be a part of any one of the things you named.
Yeah, but what happens is when you
Right.
have when you have any stance
Okay.
out of being whatever is considered norm.
Right. Okay.
You have norm.
Right.
Norm is what they would call a square. You're not a part of nothing. You're not thinking about nothing. You just living your regular
That's
day.
the guy in Cheers.
You know
Norm.
You know what I'm saying?
He's Norm. He just
Norm.
He's there, regular.
But the moment you discover to be a part of anything that's outside of the norm, you got to be able to defend that. You got to be able to, because it's going to become why. You got to be able to defend why. You know what I'm saying? Then after why, you have to be able to say because. You know what I mean? And when because you have to be able to defend it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just like now, your guy Whack 100 is like, in order for me to speak with you, you got to say power rules the world. So like for him to say that, he's making a statement being made that, okay, you guys done subjugated us all these years,
Right.
and been put us in this box all these
That's
years,
true.
and now you want to take me and speak to me because you want my views, you want my followers,
Right.
which is comprehensible. That I get
Nah,
that.
that makes sense.
I get
That makes
that.
100%
I get that, but check this out. You also have a right to you have a well, you can't really, you don't have to if you don't want to. But it will be great if you do speak about your position as who you. There's a generation of kids, young adults that you influencing. As an influencer, you influence them to flag. You know what I mean? To grab a flag and do everything that comes with that flag. You follow what I'm saying? And then and because of that, you're responsible. And as being a responsible adult or OG, you got to speak on that, man. You got to speak on that. So you can't make fun of it. You know what I'm saying? And if I was Sarnetta, I'd probably say power rules the world, just so we could have this conversation. You follow what I'm saying? And have it
because that ain't that bad. That's not like that. That's not that bad. It's not like that's not a bad statement. Like,
but how about this?
Right.
That's chess, not checkers.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Now you gotta come to the forefront,
Right.
and let's chop it up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is interesting, man. This is interesting. What do you think will be the outcome of this? Because you know what I'm saying, I can see, bro. Listen, bro.
And you can't swing once you're mentally defeated if you get mentally defeated.
Right. And that's on
can't
all
swing.
sides because
Yeah.
it's
But
definitely gonna be some.
I doubt.
It's definitely.
I doubt. You know what I mean?
Like a Hebrew Israelite is gonna swing right.
For what? You know what I mean? You're not
or
supposed to.
Muslim or whatever.
How?
Right.
For what? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? You're not
'Cause
supposed.
I can see. I mean, to me, just because one, I seen what's the big guy, Big U. I seen Big U, and he was he was talking about Crips and stuff like that, and I think he was saying how what was he saying? He was saying that they everywhere. They doctors, they lawyers. You know what I'm saying? All of these different. You know what I'm saying?
GDs too.
I mean, I think Bloods too. I'm sure Pyrus too. You
Right.
know, all of these different Latin kings.
Sabians
I'm sure.
too.
Yeah, exactly. But see, that's different. That's different.
Okay, break down why.
Because Sabian is a tribe that is, basically pursuing right a space as a nation.
Okay.
Right. And so doing, you're going to have different people coming from different walks of life, You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, one, that our way, we go out and we speak direct. It's the same thing like how the Hebrew Israelites do. We speak directly to the people. We talk. We teach them about the information, and then for those that gravitate to it, so it could gravitate. It's already gang members that's part of our same tribe.
That's a
you know what I'm
fact.
saying? So like that's not even like that's nothing new.
No, but I threw that in
You're gonna
there.
have gang members that are gonna be Hebrew Israelites.
No, but I threw that in there in order for you. I'm glad you caught it to
Right.
be able to differentiate
Muslims
the fact
too.
that, you know,
'Cause you see,
we as a people, we would be what they consider the progressive Negroes insofar as the fact that we identify the fact that we can be a group of people that's able to be self-determined. We could determine our future. We could determine our everyday. We can be what is called autonomous without this current government. You know what I'm saying? And we have a right to say that. And then and being able to have that type of conversation, it takes a level of intellect to do that, because not everybody
Well, let me tell you something.
care or want to.
But let me tell you something. That right now, the average Black American has, I don't care what gang, you know what I'm saying. Now, some might not want to have conversations like this.
Why?
Because they choose to, they choose, right now it's not necessarily cool.
Okay.
The cooler thing, and that's just, worldwide, is to talk more about negativity. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's always more, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about these rooms, right? We be on Clubhouse, right? We be in these rooms, it be super stimulating. Sometimes you're in rooms where, maybe a big name comes in, Grant Cardone or something like that, and then, it's thousands of people, and the call stays on one frequency of, like, success, empowerment, so on and so forth. But it seemed like the rooms that are going off of toxicity, they the ones that get more of the listeners. Think about the news. You know what I'm saying? We already know that the news, they show you more negative than they do positive. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point that Shade Room, right? Because the Shade Room is always putting out a lot of most of the time, right? A lot of gossip, so on and so forth, right? I'm not
do a whole lot of instigating.
They just, based controversial stuff like TMZ
Right.
to get people to listen.
Right.
To the point that the Shade Room had to actually do a post, like positive something. And
Right.
it was about, I think, this young Black kid that was in college at like 13. Like it just happened. Like he's a young boy that's in college, and
Congratulations.
They did a positive post on him. But they had they had like their guilt, or people like, yo, come on, why y'all not writing nothing about it?
You're not big enough.
So somebody was thinking, it was like, okay, well, think about it. It's not like that's the majority of what they put out. They put out the negative because that's what attracts everybody.
But dig this
Right.
though, right? What just happened? What just happened?
Which one?
Big U, his big homie.
Right. Who's big homie?
Not Big U.
Big Whack
Whack 100. Big homie.
Well, that's what he said. He didn't. It's really good to play it back, because somebody said that he said it was big homie. He said it's my man that before we had the mustaches, since we was kids. That's what he said. So I don't know.
All right. So let's do this. Let's say this.
Okay.
His peer called him
That he respects a lot.
that he respects and told him to chill off of the Jay Prince thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And he said, you know what? If everything is met equal, we good. You know what I mean? If they leave me alone, I'm gonna leave them alone. Because of you, I'm not pursuing it any longer. That is the epitome of the ability of what we can do to stop all that right there.
That's a fact.
Because, say for instance, his friend or his peer or big homie, whatever they call it, however you situate it, never called them, it would have been an ongoing thing. And both of them are the kings, so there would have been pawns been moving around to create beef, to shoot each other, whatever, however it would have played out. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that his peer that he respects de-escalated it by saying, yo, let's chill off of that. And he's saying, you know what? Because of you, I'm gonna chill off of that. And I'm saying this could be done all across the board. This is for the drill rap. This is for the
No,
drug
that's a
selling.
fact.
This is for all
That's
of
a
that.
fact.
And this is the power
That's
that
a
you
fact.
OGs got.
That's a fact.
You OGs
That's a fact.
that's put in work, that been in the penitentiary, that's respected.
Right.
That's you what you consider the ones that's considered the reputables.
Right.
You reputables
Right.
have ability
Right.
to rep this way, and because guess what? The peers are watching.
So
I mean, the
now
youth is watching.
Let me ask you this.
Oh, yo, he's going to chill.
Let me ask you this.
Oh, wow.
Let me ask you this. What about the feds, the federal agents, COINTELPRO, implanted into organizations, right? In order to be able to stop exactly what you just said. How do they deal with that?
That's when the war becomes real.
Right.
See, the war, right?
Or there really is a war?
It's already a war, but
Right.
the war becomes real when
It's happened already. So isn't it real right now?
No, what I'm saying is it's not. It hasn't been acknowledged yet by these guys that has the ability.
So
that they have.
nobody's going public to say, listen, we was trying to, you know what I'm saying, bring the peace, but they in a couple situations, remember the dude came out, the federal agent, I mean it's a little while ago, but he was a Black Panther. He came out and he admitted that I'm the one that burnt down the museum in Oakland. Remember some
Yeah, he was
museum?
the one that was the Judas of the Black Messiah. He was the Judas.
Yeah, no.
No, but the real one that came out and spoke.
Yeah, not. That's a different market. That's a whole nother situation.
Okay.
What happened with Fred Hampton is a whole nother situation.
Okay, that's
a whole
okay.
nother,
Okay.
a whole nother
My fault,
Judas.
my
That's a
fault.
good proof. The proof that the war, you know what I'm saying? Because you saying they're waiting for proof, like what? Because the war is going on because it happened in two instances.
No, but what I'm saying is
Right.
the war hasn't begun on that level yet, because once you cut your grass within your organization, be it gang banging or whatever it is, and you find these COINTELPRO people, right, and you expose them, and you do it however you do it, in order to let the government know that it's not one, we're not taking it, we're not allowing it, and we're not allowing it to be utilized, right? Because what happens is it's interesting, because like when you look and they hold your mail and they try to manipulate how your mail go out and comes in, and how they manipulate who can come see you, who can't come see you, when they know that you are a powerful mind. It's the same tactics that COINTELPRO utilize.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? So the war starts when you care to find out who are your troops. You care to find out who are the members of your troops, who's doing what, when they doing what, how they doing what. You follow what I'm saying? And are you there to destroy or uplift the community?
Right.
The moment you make that, because that's the war right there. The moment you decide, you know what, we're not selling drugs, we're not pushing perks, we're not doing these different things right now, and you waking up your troops, your pawns, your people to that fact, that's when the thing changes. Up until then, they're able to just sit right in and either perpetuate the thing or just continue to report what's going on.
Right.
It's like when they're able to sneak into a Drake's house, or
It's dangerous.
You know what I mean?
It's
super dangerous. It's a war.
Yeah, it's mad. And then I don't feel like we mentally equipped with what they call psychic self-defense, or what Dr. York calls psychic. I don't think enough of us equipped with that in America. You know what I'm saying? It's too many cats that for $1 they willing to sell you out. They will sell you out. They snitch. You put them in front of people. They telling everything that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think, you know what I mean? It's in America, it's gonna be hard because again, we're the minority. You follow what I'm talking about?
That's true. We
Right.
are the minority, but the same illness
Right.
takes place all over the world with us. You go to the continent of Africa, you're gonna see the same
Yeah,
illness.
but it's gonna, and it's happening. But bro, I think there's a lot of whisper. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of whisper because the difference is, unfortunately, I would think most of the African American culture put in the media is negative, is violent, is pushing dumb shit. You know what I'm talking about? That's not Africa. Africa, the continent, let's say West Africa, that's not what they pushing. as a continent. They pushing engineers, they're pushing intelligence, they pushing diploma after diploma.
Yeah,
after,
but okay, but that's a different.
But that's
type,
not being pushed in
I mean,
America.
that's a different type of ailment, you know what I mean? Because in Africa, what they do is they'll make you feel like, okay, white is superior and black is inferior. You know what I'm saying? Leave your country, never go back. But what you do learn, once you become an engineer or a big doctor, leave. Don't go back.
But I think they're addressing that. They know they have brain drain. It's being addressed as we speak. Ghana, the president of Ghana, so he's literally coming out and saying, making statements like, "Yo, if you're not being treated well in America, come here." He's saying stuff like, I think Trump said that shithole country.
Right.
And these are shithole countries. And somebody like, I think it was the Ugandan president,
right.
There's another one that said, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we are shit. We need to fix our own shit. You follow what I'm talking about? That's what was being said.
Right.
That's not being said. Like, I don't hear that. Like that type
in
of
America.
Nah, the conversation in
America.
America.
Again, it's a war. So if the president of Ghana is saying, you know what, you know what I'm saying, you're not being treated right in America, come home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the war.
Right.
And he's addressing it.
Yeah,
and I'm saying
that's an ally.
You know what I mean? The moment a WAC 100 is like, yo, look. That Percocet popping or that gang banging shit y'all doing, that shit is whack.
No, I think,
you know what I mean?
Listen,
and you catch it, use a violation if you're doing X,
man,
Y, Z.
I'm feeling you so much because I believe that what they could do right now is they could say, no more rapping about this particular thing. No more. They could make that statement right there. They could make that statement that if you talk about killing somebody,
it's a violation. It's a violation.
Man.
And in the moment, you know, a big homie catches it, will put out a violation on you. Now what happens? The moment you try to
extra good today, right? Go ahead, sorry.
The moment you try to, put out some music or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? You could just say the announcement could be like, well, we're not even supporting dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then now you're not even going. You know what I mean? You're not even going on wood. You going motherfucking dead cells. You know what I mean? You ain't selling no internet sales or whatever the case is. But the point of the matter is, that's the ability that we have. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a fact.
So the fact that took place with WAC 100 and his friend and his man, to me, that's like. At first, I didn't know how to. I was processing it in my mind. I was digesting. So as I was talking, that was hearing me processing in my mind.
Show me how real that hierarchy system is too, or whatever.
No. It shows how the power that we got.
Yeah, that's
because when these kids be getting popped, it comes from that hierarchy.
Not all the time.
Saying
not all the time.
A lot of the times he gotta go, and then now you find yourself getting.
Okay. I think they're very unorganized right now, bro. I really believe that they're very unorganized. Though I think they could tell you to stop, but we already got a certain hate for each other as blacks. That I got a weapon on, you got a weapon on. I don't like you because I've been taught not to like my image. I've been taught to hate. You know what I'm saying? Self and kind, right? Which we've been learning about it for almost 100 years now.
Right.
We've been taught. They've been trying to teach us. Different black leaders in America have been trying to teach us to love ourselves, but we still don't 100% love ourselves. The doll test is an example of not loving ourselves.
The doll test is incredible.
Google the doll test, right? And then of course how we treat each other is an example. So my point is, you got a gun on you, I got a gun on me. You a blood, I'm a Crip. There is no treaty. You follow what I'm talking about? We see each other, and you look at me, and you look at me a way I don't like. So I look at you a way you don't like, and then before you know it, you know what I'm saying? So that's my point, right? So that's not coming down from no order, and that's happening on every day because come on, there was no, when we was coming up, wasn't no gangs, but that was what it was. You walk, you know what I'm saying? Cat bump you, was on. You know what I'm saying? It could be a mistake. You step on your kicks, it's on. Yeah. He's looking at you too long, it's on.
You're clocking me for
yeah, bro. So like, come on. So what that had to do with somebody telling them to do it. So, but what I do agree with is that somebody can tell them not to do it. The guy, what's the guy I always be talking about? Bounty Hunter J, right? That's his name, right?
Bounty Hunter J.
Yeah, he said that there was a treaty at some point,
right,
between the in his particular area.
Right.
You follow what I'm talking about? And like nothing in Watts, to the point that everybody was able to come to Watts and be safe. So gang members from other areas will come to Watts because it was like, yo, this is the neutral zone. Exactly. So I agree with you 100% that from top down, they can stop it. You know what I'm saying? They can stop it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think, but they're not ordering every young boys that is just wild right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Wild coyote.
exactly, and that's the whole thing about that we talking about. The conversation I hear about Larry Hoover, like, oh, that's what people say. Well, if Larry Hoover was home because of his influence, he could probably send down a message like, yo, stop that shit, and it might stop. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's true or not, but the fact that it's a part of the conversation, and we seeing how he was able to just do what? Call his man and say, yo, calm down on that stuff with Jay Prince.
Right.
And this is video of him himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this Whack 100 himself
yeah,
in camera
but the fact
saying
that
what happened. Right.
The fact that he even did that, it just shows you the level of respect that these guys have for each other.
Right.
And when it's beef, you know what I mean, that respect turns into hate. And it's irreparable. Because what happens is we live in a day and time right now where our children is following this gang culture, this drug culture. It's a culture, you know what I'm saying? And because we perpetuate it and saying this is what it is,
Right.
you know, that's what they following.
Right.
And you know, we have an ability to change it. So this is interesting. It's a real interesting thing. And I just think that, you know, I think you're gonna need a lot more. You're gonna need WAC 100s. You're gonna
definitely need them.
These guys.
That's 100%.
You know what I mean? That's a heavily.
Only thing that concerns me.
They're not immortalized, but there are major influences within this thing right here, because when you look at Bloods and you look at Crips, you got certain cats like Dave East. He's a Crip, right? And he's a rapper and he's an influencer, so he got his fan base, right? But then at the same time, he got a gang fan base also, because every Crip that listens to Dave East, you know what I'm saying, they're respecting how he moves. So these gang affiliates have a responsibility to de-escalate, man, and change the content of what we're listening to, man. This is really interesting.
No, it really is. And again, only thing that concerns me about that, which you're right, you do need those figureheads, right? You know what I'm saying? Only thing concerns me about that is COINTELPRO,
right?
FBI,
right?
What I'm talking about, you know what I mean? And what dude told me that day, you know what I'm saying? And right now, we ain't got, like, there is no black Secret Service. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, you operating at a disadvantage off the bat.
We need a black Secret Service.
I mean,
wow.
You do, but how you gonna penetrate in America though?
Well, it's not about penetrating.
It is, but that's what Secret Services do.
No, but it's not about penetrating. It's about establishing a service, a secret. That's a secret, a service that is secret for our community. You know what I mean? Like. It's like you don't have to penetrate because it's like what
that's what. Hold up.
It's like when they come into our community.
You know what? I used the wrong word.
Okay.
I said Secret Service.
Okay.
I meant Central Intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay, intelligence.
Intelligence is because that's what has been keeping us down.
Okay.
Between the FBI and the CIA.
Okay.
Those are the operatives. You know what I'm saying? Based on. You know, of course, obviously now they're trying to uproot the systemic racism and they're trying to go in and fix it inside the mechanisms. And
this is interesting, bro.
But so my point is, okay, yeah, you can have it. Not Secret Service. Secret Service is to protect the president. It's quiet. Yeah, of course. You can keep secrets in the hood. But how do you gather intelligence? Because that's how these guys be winning wars.
Well, AI.
That's true.
We gather it through AI, you know what I'm saying? But you still need a mechanism.
I disagree.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because AI is only gonna give you access to what is public information.
Right.
You follow me? Unless of course you got, you know what I mean?
You got
hackers.
You got public information.
No, you would need to have
that's of ours. But that's about generations.
Yeah, that's true.
That they utilize as an algorithm.
Yeah, but how they be playing it is they sending somebody, because it's one thing to gather information,
right?
Okay, but it's a different thing to send somebody to do what?
And
submerge them.
Yeah.
Don't even use the word implant. Use the word submerge the person.
Okay.
Into the culture. They dip this guy in that joint. You know what I'm talking about? They take this guy, or he might already be connected.
Right.
You know, like black. He's already black. Right. So it's nothing to put you into the Black Panthers, but we in your mind.
Right.
You know, you work for what's the man?
Manchurian Candidate.
No. What's the guy name? He headed the FBI. The guy that went after Marcus Garvey, he also went after Nation of Islam, went after Martin Luther King. Either way, they had a movie about him. They said he was gay. Either which way, the former head of the FBI, he's the one. He's in their head. So he takes them, puts them Hoover, right? J. Edgar Hoover, right? So he takes this implant, this person, they submerge him in, right? One, while you in, pull the wires, fuck shit up, break some windows, follow someone, clip some shit, but also gather as much understanding that you can and bring it back to us so we can really make a decision on how we about to dismantle this thing.
That's how they've been doing it. That's how they've been doing it.
That's my point. But see, that's why when you look at America's downfall, unfortunately, as much as I want to give us so much props and shit like that, but bro, it ain't gonna be black people, CIA agents coming in and do it's Russia doing that. It's China. Because they got Russians. They got Chinese people working high up in America. You know what I'm talking about? They got, you know what I'm saying? Even though they might have Nigerians, but Nigeria's not at a place yet where they're a main player on the world in geopolitics to be able to move.
They got Russians that know who's winning. They got Russians that understand that 39,000 points that LeBron just got and sit down able to have that whole conversation with you and everything from one time LeBron James.
They so smart right now. What they doing? They sending people.
Yo, shouts out to LeBron James for
being the top scorer in the world, right? Drake
39,000.
Drake even got a special song for him. They so strategic right now that they could potentially send a Brittany Griner to Russia as an operative.
How about that?
They could like I'm not saying they did, but you know they had the movie. You know there was a movie about Rodman. Remember they had the movie. There was a whole movie in China. Was Korea was protesting the movie. Sony put the movie out. It was about the two guys that went in there with a basketball player and they sent them in. It was a comedy to go in and infiltrate. You know what I'm talking about? So like think about who they could send a rapper in, bro. They could send a rapper in, bro. The rapper, he don't care. A lot of these, this the thing about it too. When you gotta care, it's a lot of niggas that just don't care. Like they don't care.
All they care about is the bag.
Yeah, because it's already like, look, that war you talking about, we lost that war. Like, I want to talk about. I want to talk about that war. What you talking about? That black, white shit? No, I know we lost that already. It's a wrap. All we can do right now is get money. All we can come on, bro. That's a huge mindset.
I kind of heard it just now.
That's a huge mindset, bro, in the country. And I mean, I don't even knock them because, I mean, you know, it took a certain level of understanding to see how this thing has to happen. Meaning, you know, like what I was just saying, it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen from the Russians. It's gonna happen from the Chinas. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen from the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? So you countries that have the mechanisms in place in order to be able to take on an entity like such. You follow what I'm talking about? So we don't really gotta do nothing. What we gotta do? You forgot?
Get out the way.
Come on, man. That's all we gotta do. That's all we gotta do. That's all we gotta do. Now, in the meantime, in between time, we can do our best to penetrate the music. You follow what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Intervene in the content as we've been talking about. You know what I mean? Hit the continent hard. You know what I'm saying? Because while of course they got operatives on the continent and stuff like that. But I don't think they in music like that yet. Not like that. I don't think not like that. Not yet. Not like they are in America. To the point where, if you ask me, shit, I believe there's FBI agents rapping. I believe it's at least one or two. It's at least one FBI agent that's a certified producer or rapper that's in the mix and understands that.
In the mix, sitting there smoking with Drake.
Yeah, and my job is to
sitting there smoking with Diddy.
Yeah.
Sitting there with Jay-Z, like, yo, you know what I mean? Like,
how can I let you with 10 million followers and every time you drop a single, 1 million people all over the world or even more, 10 million, 20, 30 million people all over the world listen to what you say.
Right.
You're American.
Right.
You gotta be careful to make sure you say what's
What you're supposed to say.
you gotta say, yeah, bro, you can't say certain shit you can't say.
This the narrative right here.
Come on. And so now we get mad when we hear China and about them doing it, and Russia and these countries, we call them communists or whatever, they proud to be communists, I don't know, but either which way, that's the word we use. But at the end of the day, they doing the same thing. America does the same thing, but they do it covertly. You know what I'm talking about? They do it through influence.
Yeah.
They come through, you know what I'm saying? They put somebody, they do it through following. They say, okay.
They give you food.
Think about it. Think about everything is going off of what? Followers, Facebook, Instagram, right? So they put somebody, they say, okay, well, we just gonna make you the cool guy, and the majority gonna follow you.
Fast.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And then and that's how we gonna make sure everybody says what we want them to say. You know what I'm talking about?
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So even when Jay-Z was like, I might rhyme like common sense, or that whole line, that bar.
I made $5 million.
Yeah, that bar. He was being honest. He's trying to get to the money. I think he wants embetterment for black people.
Right.
But he was saying something that they want to hear.
Right.
He didn't know. I don't think he realized.
He realized. I mean, I always say, if you know better, you do better. I think that. I think Jay-Z know better.
I think he getting over. I think he getting it off.
Yeah, that's my point. But he knows better.
Nah, he does know better, but I don't think that he knows that putting that line out there was actually potentially
detrimental.
Yeah, it was a little bit working against what it is that we need.
No,
I don't think he saw it.
You know why? I said he knows better.
Right.
Because he said that what was it called? I use my wrist to get out the kitchen. You know what I mean? God did that whole God did. If you listen to his verses on there,
right?
You know what I mean? He said I made it out with my record clean. He knows better. You know what I mean? To do better, but what he in knowing better, he utilized it to basically manipulate the system to get to it. Where he wants. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares to be a Dame like how Dame. Okay, point. Him and Dame Dash came out the same building.
Right.
And Dame Dash went right, he went left. Although they had a disagreement, what have you.
Right.
Dame Dash's whole content on what his premise is right now, if Jay-Z was to write about it, and it continue to establish institutions about it, it would show. The reform and have Meek Mills as the face of that, I get that. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. He's the way he's moving is like the trajectory is what Duce, NFL, weed plant, marijuana plant. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But the reform is like okay, you'll get one of that, but I'm gonna do 10 more of these right here. You know what I'm saying? And I'll probably give you one of that, but I'm gonna do 10 more of these right here.
Get to the bread.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas Dame. He's letting you know what it is consistently. Boom. Like me or like me, don't like me, love me, don't love me. This is what it is. Boom. Portal to be seen what I want to be put out there, and this is the content that I'm putting out there.
Okay.
And your man could have did the same.
Yeah.
And he had more bread.
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree.
It's debatable.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna tell you why I disagree because I do think that he doesn't know better in this particular scenario like this. He's of the people that believe that rapping is an art, which it's true to a degree. That you should be able to rap about whatever you want. You follow what I'm talking about? And that, to the point where he's even got the laws. Bro, that's an important play, bro. To go in there and actually change legislation in New York. You can't Young Thug somebody in New York now. The way they Ricoing and the way they doing him in Atlanta, you can't do. We come from the mindset of Denzel Washington is acting, it's music, it's art, it's performing arts. He's a real, from what I get, Jay-Z's a real, he want to be an American, bro. Like, if you ask me, not saying he don't want to be black, not saying he want, but there's
What's the difference?
He's a guy that might not never like leave America. Like his thing is I want to take over America. I don't want to leave and go to Africa.
What is America?
To live in Africa.
What is America?
To say that I'm gonna leave America permanently. He's not the kind of guy to do that.
What is
let me
America?
tell you. Let me give you some more examples of why. I did it my way. You know that song?
Yeah.
That he got. That's a Sinatra song. You follow what I'm talking about? It's a mindset It's a whole mindset that he coming out of Brooklyn, coming out of New York. New York, New York, you know what I'm saying? Like he always got a New York song. Bro, he's been, unfortunately, there's a certain level of brainwashing that happened with him. You follow what I'm talking about? And I don't think he does know better. I think he wants to be like, he wants to aspire to those things that was shown to us as Americans. That you could live the dream, millionaire. If you could make it here, you can make it anywhere. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's what he came up on, and that reason I believe that is because that's what he rap about. To the point that he got Sinatra, and he using that "I did it my way." He ain't got a clip on from Malcolm X. You follow what I'm talking about? He ain't got a clip from Martin Luther King. He got a clip from a mobster because in the mindset they was in at that time, they was on some, yo, we on some mob shit. We gonna come up. We're gonna King of New York. Like that's just him and Biggie they was on that stuff. So they wasn't really. I don't think they wasn't like, even though he might have had a Jazzo, that was you know what I'm saying, which is still that's still his man. He still put Jazzo on. Why? Because Jazzo's probably that guy that he could get the information that he can't get from the regular corporate. You know what I'm saying? But I think he patterned his life off of being successful in corporate America. And I don't think he thought about, I don't think he thinks about or understands what, you know what I'm saying, demanding young people to rap about something, forcing that down. I don't think he's even thinking about doing something like that, because in his mind, I don't think he even understands the detriment of what's happening, you know what I'm saying, and the effects of what happens to when these people absorb the music. I don't think he gets it. That's just what I think.
Man, yo, like, subscribe, ring the bell. You know what I'm saying? This is debatable. We only talk to you like this because battle rapper for intelligent cats.
That's
you know
a
what
fact.
I'm saying? That's the only reason why we're casting these pearls out. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
You know what they say, man? We don't cast the pearls to
swine. That's it. All right, y'all.
Debatable.
Okay. All right. We out.
That was great.
Yeah,